I was right here, and you still couldn't provide the chest. All right. Sophie's made-up question is how to increase show-up rate. All right. So this one is really important. So if you're a two-step funnel and you sell education products, typically priced at more than 2K, usually what you need is people booking into your calendar so you can have some kind of consultative conversation to convince them to buy your stuff, right? And one of the big pain points with a lot of education, info space and coaching based services is that the attendance rate is typically really poor. It's like 20%. You want that to be close to 75%, so you can just have close to 3 times as many times at bat to pitch your services. So a couple of things you can do to increase your attendance rates. Firstly, is only allow them to book today, next day, or day after, right? So the further out someone books, the more likely they are to no-show, right? And it really drops off past 72 hours. So if you let someone book in 2 weeks' time, they're just not going to show up. So ideally, you want them to be able to book today with like fucking literally no notice. Like if you want to speak to Tim like in 2 hours, you should be able to do that. Or the next day, alternatively the day after. If people start booking on the 3rd day, just text and email them and try to move them forward instead. Second thing you can do is just have more availability. So, easiest way to just not make any money is just not let anyone fucking book with you. One of the most critical points for us growing as an agency was when we started, I was doing all of the sales calls. And as soon as I just got Tim on board and he just had another empty calendar, our attendance rate just went up because there was just another empty calendar. There was just more spots for them to book. So let's say, for example, you're only available for like 4 hours out of the week. Someone's just going to take one of those spots and be like, well, fuck, it's the only one I can make. And then when they get there, they're not available. And that's when your show rates fucking drop off dramatically. Third thing you can do is by default, Calendly lets you book in like 30-minute increments. So you want to change it to 15-minute increments, right? Allows people that are like in that awkward spot where they're like, oh, I can't do the 12, I can't do the 12:30 because I won't be free at 1, but maybe I can do the 12:15. So change it to 15-minute increments. Fourth thing you can do is just remove the buffers, right? So the buffers and tools like Calendly or High Level, it's the space between bookings that just allows for a little bit of overtime. Just remove that. It links with having more availability, right? Fifth thing you can do, lower resistance to attend the call. To attend. Right. So if you're asking someone to get on a Zoom call, the show rate's going to be a little bit lower because like fuck, some people maybe they don't have Zoom, they've got to download it, they've got to be on a webcam, things like that. Right? Whereas a phone call, just picking up the phone, there's far less resistance to that. So again, speaking about lowering resistance or increasing resistance in your conversion rates on your landing pages, this is also increasing the quality of your attended calls because if someone's on Zoom, you can see their face, you can read their body language and all this stuff, and you can share your screen with them. So it increases the quality there as well. And obviously probably your close rate as well. General rule of thumb, if you're like, should I be doing Zoom calls? If you're doing B2B, just do Zoom calls. If you're doing B2C, do phone calls, it's fine. Or give them an option. Cool. Obvious one is SMS reminders. People just fucking don't check their emails, right? SMS reminders are absolutely critical to the point where if our SMS reminders go down for whatever reason for where your industry set my other business, it's like a fucking drop everything, all hands on deck, fix it now because the attendance rate will drop from like 75% to like 20. So SMS reminders are really critical. So are your email reminders anyway. And the general cadence that I do for both of these is confirmation, 24 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes. And what you want to do on the confirmation one is get them to reply to reconfirm, right? So what your SMS reminder will read like is something like, hey, Joseph, you booked in for this day and this time, you're going to be all good for that time? And then just expect to reply. And if they don't reply, follow up again and say, hey, just chasing up, just confirming. If they don't reply, just bin them. Number 8. Have an exciting meeting. My handwriting is getting worse and worse the further I go down this page. Exciting meeting agenda. So rather than your email confirmation reading, hey, you're booked in at this day and this time with this person at this Zoom link, you want to say, hey, all of that, the bare essential details, but we're going to be covering this. You're going to walk away with this action plan. We're going to unblock these roadblocks. Here's some proof of other people that have done it before, and this is what you can expect at the end of the call. That's much harder to cancel on than just an appointment. People will easily cancel on and no-show on appointments unless there's like a really exciting, like, fuck, we're going to talk about all of this stuff, right? The ninth thing you do is in your nurture sequences, or your reminder sequences more specifically, is just provide more value. Right, so what you can do is in your confirmation email, send them a bunch of student testimonials or member testimonials, case studies of results, and then also just some other valuable resources so that going into the call, they're like, fucking hell, I've gotten so much value out of just the emails alone. Like, what is their program like? And what is this sales call going to be like? Or what is this strategy session? Or what is this discovery session going to be like as well? Final bonus tip as well, and I didn't have this written down, is give them homework. Now, this can be something as simple as in your email confirmation, have the subject line say action required and say, hey, can you also, I got your, your booking details. Can you also reply with a little bit of a story about what you brought us here, right? Or alternatively, what you can do is send them a link to like a program overview and go, hey, just before the call, I'll need you to watch this 20-minute video. It's going to save us a bunch of time on the call. And then that video primes them for the call, and you follow up on an SMS reminder saying, hey, just checking that you've already watched this. And if they don't watch it, just fucking can the booking. So give them a little bit of homework, increase a little bit of psychological resistance. So getting them to reply with like a little bit of a fucking short essay, or getting them to watch a video to prime them for the call also helps with conversion rates. And so if you do all these things, you'll significantly bump your conversion rates. And if you want our help doing that, if you check the YouTube description, there'll be a link to apply for our With You program, so we can do all this with you. There's a bunch of testimonials of our students that have done that. Jack, one of our recent members, hadn't even come to the fucking workshop yet, and he's already closed 2 deals already. He spent like $100 on ads. And if you want those kinds of results, check the link in the description.